Well, I also caught up with Shakila Mirza of London Bullion Market Association. She believes that the growing interest from Western investors is what is supporting a surge in prices of the yellow metal.
Especially in India, given I'm in India, has gold never been interesting? So gold has always been interesting for at least the regional market, but on a global scale, it's definitely getting a lot more attention, a lot more focus. And where the shift is coming is gold is no longer just interesting in Asia. It's becoming more and more interesting in the West. So you've got Western investors who are looking at gold as an opportunity to look into, but also to get involved on a long-term basis. And I think that's the beauty of gold, that you can actually get into gold, but also know that you're going to have long-term stability through your investments. And so that shift from not just focusing on the interest in Asia, but actually in the Western markets, is really supporting the price of gold, but generally the industry overall.
It's quite on the higher side, yes. Talk to us about the Indian markets as well. With the duty cut, we've seen more imports come in. How does LBMA as an institution looks at Indian demand, one, and the impact of duty cut?
So look, India, the second largest consumer market in the world, and one of the most important markets. And not just from a perspective of like jewelry, but also the sort of the sentiment, the emotional, the festivals, and everything that happens in India to engage in the gold market. And the duty cut, I mean, it's my first conference where I've seen so much positivity. And whilst I've attended several conferences in India, this is perhaps the one where gold is at an all-time high. The duty cut has certainly supported demand. There's a lot of focus on understanding how can we build a stronger industry in India. And with all this positive energy, engagement, but also sentiment, there is no better time to continue to focus on improving our practices, but building businesses and attracting new participants to help the industry grow.
So what is it that LBMA is now looking to do going forward? I mean, as you said, we've seen a string of things that the institution has continued to do all of these years. With these evolving markets now and the world is changing, what is LBMA's priorities as we look to the year ahead?
So, so one of the biggest priorities is understanding the role of technology and how it can support this industry. So we've heard a lot about AI, blockchain, and understanding how can these technologies support efficiencies within this industry. So the LBMA, we've been involved in a project called the Gold Bar Integrity together with the World Gold Council. So next year we'll be launching an LBMA database that, to your point earlier on, will help with data. Data helps with transparency, transparency helps with trust. So through the LBMA Gold Bar Integrity project, which is going to be engineered by the technology, we are hoping to build that trust and support that transparency piece. Together, the technology on its own is not enough. You've got to have the right standards that the technology can use to develop those markets. So one thing that the LBMA has done forever has been this focus on continuous improvements of standards. And I have been working for the last 10 years on the responsible sourcing program. And the growing amount of interest in stakeholders wanting to know where that gold is coming from is increasing. And that's a good sign.
Well, there's another side to it, of course, transparency and responsible sourcing on gold, which also seems to be picking up. But let's now move